to accept the nomination for exonerating these abominations. Yeah, I'll replace them. God's creation with a spawn of Satan. For the answer to that, nigga, I'll be waiting. To provoke your thoughts is the obligation. With my niggas, and we spread that across the nation. And I came from my mama's basement where your whole life was a big long vacation. So I don't want to hear no conversations about contemplations of a condemnation. My compensation's not monetary. You operating like Tom and Jerry. Altercations are awfully scary when the object of them is so arbitrary. But look, all I can do is be honest. All of your songs just be making me vomit. You'll probably end up with a job in the office while I'm making profit from thoughts of my conscience. I promise not to compromise my emotions though. I'm on the rise and no, I won't apologize. My goals to leave you traumatized. Promise me you won't modify your qualities cause you qualified and you know that you always on my mind. So what you want tonight? Gotta let a nigga know what you want tonight, yeah. What you want tonight, yeah.
That was Do You Young One by Dio. Honestly, now that I'm looking at their name actually might just be Do You Young One. Hey, what's up everybody? It's your NB, the Super Libra Power. Happy motherfucking Pride from your gender fluid, non-binary motherfucking house. Finger targeted today. Yes, hello, how are you? That's waffles. Yeah, I had to come through and deliver a message to y'all today. I'm recording on my lunar return. Yes, praise be. My lunar return. It's a Libra moon. Yeah, we're not kidding around when we say that we're a whole ass Libra stellium in this motherfucking house. Hold on. Meow. Yeah, I want to start us off with that. As you know, this is the reading for the full moon in Sagittarius, and you know, I'm starting to, I guess, recognize with these readings that I do for y'all that sometimes they're really abrupt, but I definitely think ahead of time, like at least like 2-3 days ahead of time. Like, gosh, there's like, damn, like what is it, like what's my video gonna be about, blah blah blah, like when should I start? Because I'm so excited to share messages with y'all. I'm so excited to channel for so many people and for us all to connect together, like unified in this way. But like our unification is still very unique and like multi-dimensional, and we come from so many different places. And so, yeah, it just gets me so excited. And yeah, well, so for this one, I've been, I don't know, like just with the new moon in Gemini reading, I don't know how many views it's at right now. I think it's at like 42, and that's like my recent personal best. So thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. I used to have a much bigger following like 4 years ago. For multitude of reasons. I was just very, very like physically and publicly active in like communities, and like Meta hadn't fully taken over yet, so a lot of uncensored stuff was going on. But I really do try to like keep the heart of like anti-censorship on my channel. Well, obviously by playing that song, I don't know. I highly doubt it'll be copyright restricted. We'll see. But like, I currently don't have a big enough following for that to really count, I think. So you know, hopefully we won't get flagged. But if we do, fuck them. I'm thinking that we should do something like that again, because that was pretty tight. Yeah. This is going to be a really interesting reading. Every time I come here from my heart. I always feel something in my heart or in my spirit. I try not to allow myself to be bogged down by so much overthinking. We just got out of a Virgo moon, well, you know, from where I'm standing. And yeah, that shit was quite pertinent. Continuous. I had to like subconsciously say, hey Nair, relax. Hey Nair, let God take care of it. Let Goddess take care of it. Nair, just let it go. You're feeling all this buildup, trying to control something, and I admonish you for your, ability to state what you want and try to maintain control of the ship, but that's kind of not what you're being asked to do right now. Do that, state what you want, and then let it go so that it can come back around. I'm gonna get up and grab my chai. I don't drink coffee, I drink chai. I'm a very avid tea drinker, excuse me. So I will most definitely be getting up again. My tea bag is steeping currently, and then I gotta, pour it in a cup and, get to drinking. But I guess in the meantime, I can get started with pulling and such. I'll be caffeinated pretty soon, so I definitely recommend folks, take some nice big deep breaths while I guide you on how to achieve such things. Not at the moment, no. But if you don't mind, do that for me. A little bit on borrowed time. Might not be. I just, maybe in the midst of me channeling future fire sign energy, I'm quite, I guess, aware of the time being utilized right now. My devices are on low charge, both of them. I have one of them charging. This is going to be an interesting reading because a lot of us here, not all of us, but a lot of us here, our Plutos are in Sagittarius and will be conjunct this oncoming full moon. So, feelings of transformation, change, adjustments. It's less about, I know like before, when the new moon in Gemini was like a resistant to change. But now with this one, it's like, okay, well, I need things to change. Something's got to give, you know, something that was old needs to be purged, and there's like an element of me that's being held back. And that's also why I kind of felt like the song, the introduction to this, you know, segment, to this session, just felt really on brand. You know, Pluto often, you know, shines up, there's a light on our fears. You know, it can take us to some very deep, dark places within the self, or within any aspects that it holds within, you know, one's own chart, you know, to be completely, I guess, doctoral about it. So those themes are very likely to come up. Feelings of restriction, limitation, often quite physically. You know, Gemini likes to be fun and goofy, and they're a jokester. And Sagittarius is a jokester too. However, you know, as we hear often from them, because they can't shut the fuck up, Sagittarians are truth tellers. Sagittarians are truth tellers. Sagittarians are truth tellers, but I will say this. I do believe that having Sagittarius in Pluto, or making an aspect to a Plutonian facet of you in your chart, kind of like pokes the bear a little bit more on that subject, because Pluto is all about like deep, dark, hidden desires and secrets and assets and things. It's about all of that, but the things that are hidden, they are meant to be revealed, because if they're not and they stay hidden, they stay dormant, oftentimes that is a reflection of the fear that we have in them being brought to light, right? And so then the opposing energy, the opposing like dynamic of a situation like that, there's no other choice but to something to come in and like challenge that, or misinterpret and misunderstand that, which a lot of Plutonians, including Scorpios, have to deal with a lot. You know, just being reserved or to themselves, and suddenly people are just assuming all of these things about you when you haven't even opened your goddamn mouth. And now it's fucking hearsay, but you haven't confirmed or denied the ish. And even if you do, there are people still in your vicinity saying that, no, you're the liar, actually, we're right about your life. Like, excuse me? So, yeah, I guess I'm kind of like debilitating a little bit here to talk. And that's one thing I didn't want to do with this reading. I really wanted to, I'm going to say this every time I make one of these videos. I wanted to do a live, you know. I want to actually have like person-to-person interactions with one another. If you'd like to help me in that regard, you can always book a tarot reading with me. The link is in the description. And in the description, you'll get to see all of the services that I provide, the time slots that I have available, and you can choose based around that. But anyway, yeah, I like talking to people directly, person to person, creating like personal, intimate connections with other people, because I don't like to assume. But in this economy, I feel like you're kind of expected to talk to all of the people. You're supposed to make a connection with all of the people, and that's what like really draws you in. I'm kind of like, well, fuck that. Let's just get to know each other like personally. And I guess what the problem with that is like people don't really talk about their own personal things with other people that much. So there's that. But you can rest assured that it will be different once the moon enters Sagittarius. So happy to be here nonetheless. Happy to provide, I guess, some level of consistency. It's something I've been personally working on for a long time. I do hate consistency. I am an air sign stellium. I do think consistency is boring. But I need consistency to survive on some level. That way I can actually plan around inconsistencies being fun in my life and not being a victim of inconsistency, which, you know, I still struggle with. And, you know, is kind of like the raw, brutal nature of like life in some aspects, I guess. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting reading. Interesting reading. Yeah, I don't know how this is gonna go. No idea. Ooh. I'm only pulling things. All right. So we're gonna do things a little differently with this reading. We currently have a theme for the reading. We have, what I typically call the heart of the matter. We're gonna have the heart of the matter. We have the past and we have the present. Will more cards come out? I don't know, we'll see. I'm not utilizing my traditional spread, which is, the theme, heart, past, challenge, how the challenge is being overcome, the root of the situation, ancestor message, and the future. And the cards that are here are very little. There's no big, giant, potent energies. And I dare say that, well, except for the Queen of Wands on the spread, but no major arcana. I dare say that that's because, and I've been feeling this anyway, Sagittarius just wants us to be bold and, make a move, make the choice, write your own destiny, write your own futuristic outcome, right? These are just tiny little Easter eggs into the culmination of a grander story. There's a lot on the rise. By the time that the moon enters Sagittarius, Venus will have already entered into Taurus. And if I'm not mistaken, because I could be wrong, I'm not checking my sources at this time, but who knows how this reading will unfold, and by the end of it, I could have checked. Sunday, Jupiter goes into Cancer, and then, Jesus, so much this month. I know Mercury will also be going into Cancer at some point this week. I'm saying this week because the week of the full moon, which, that's when most people will probably be tuning in, but in the event that I upload this later, I probably won't. Then it's not quite time for Mercury to enter into Cancer. Yeah, this whole situation just really does feel like a heartful matter. I really do hate to be so logical about the situation. I do hate that about my air signness. I hate that is the role that I must play in this lifetime. Is making the strange and weird and unseen palpable to, cognitive understanding. I love living in the world of subconscious. I love living in the world where things don't make sense. Shout out to my guy, David Lynch. That is my dude. That is my father. That's he's really everything to me. Hopefully you'll see a lot of his philosophies or mirrorings kind of reflect here too. We are him and he is us, and all of those interchangeable multiverse things. This reading, this experience, this journey that we're all going on is one of a heartful matter. Oh my God. I'm feeling overwhelmed just as I'm talking about it because we just have so many planets that are entering Cancer. The big O, the big Jupiter, the big planet of optimism and journeys and expansiveness, which is home to Sagittarius, is in Cancer of home and homemaking and nostalgia and feelings. And then Mercury's gonna go into Cancer too, and that's a whole now I can speak those things, I can verbalize them, I can move with them. And Mars is still in Leo, is still in the sign of Leo, but right before we enter into Cancer season, which will be like a week or two from the full moon in Sagittarius, then Mars will be in Cancer. I am feeling a lot. I want to sip my coffee, but I feel like if I do sip my coffee, my chai, I feel like if I do sip my chai, it's gonna be like it's gonna detract from being capable of feeling what is to be felt with, you know, for this full moon in Sagittarius. I'm gonna try to keep this real short and easy and sweet and simple, because this reading has less to do about the like physical constraints of time and more so about how long things feel. And I really just kind of want to get this out to y'all. So Queen of Wands, yada yada. That's the theme. Stepping into our power. Feeling more empowered. Stepping into our sacral energy. And what do you know? The sacral chakra, you know, even though the color of it is orange, the element that it represents is water. Feeling. Being connected to divine pools and sources that evoke feelings and connectedness through feeling, and like tapping into our own power source through feeling. Something else I feel is that like there's just a lot that is going to need to come to the surface. Forgive me as I like tap on my heart, but like I don't know how else to express this. Like there's something that needs to be let out, and I can't. Like, I feel like if I let it out, it's going to be like a dam bursting. And I don't want to burst right now because I'm, like, trying to do this reading. But that might not be up to us, you know, at least when it comes to me. At least when it comes to me in my life, my wild-ass life, you know. I got a Mars in Leo. Conjunct my Lilith. Wildness is, you know, might as well be my middle name. So, yeah, hold on. This chai is good. Tea is home to me. It's so warm. And then you can put a little milky, like, you know, drink in it. You know, make it indulgent. So lovely. I love chai because the caffeine is like, I don't need that much caffeine. I work from home and I don't work a 9 to 5. I do have a schedule. I would like for it to be taken advantage of more. But that remains to be seen. This is so good. Like when I ate breakfast, what did I eat for breakfast? It's 9 a.m. where I am right now. I just got off my cycle. Praise the God, right? Pulled an all-nighter, all-dayer. Yesterday. Because my sleeping schedule changes drastically while I'm on my cycle. Very proud and happy to say, again, a lot of my existence is wildness. And really connecting with my inner wild. And one of my biggest priorities in like shifting away from like working 9 to 5 day jobs, or like that's on someone else's time, has been liberating myself from having to be present like during my cycle, during my menstrual cycle. That is a sacred time. I shouldn't have to tell any of you here that you go back to... I mean, you can literally read the Bible, and there are instances there where, like... I know, like, they treat... I know that they treat people who bleed like pariahs, but, like, you're not supposed to touch them, but, like, you think they were making bread and cooking food and rearing the babies while they were bleeding? No. Everyone who wasn't on their cycle was taking care of that, including, you know, I guess men in this instance. You know, if you come to this reading, if you come to me as a reader, you may or may not know that I do not ascribe to a general traditional overview of gender. You know, if you come here with that, that's fine. Just don't, like, try to enforce that on anyone else. If you want to live in your world where only that exists, be my guest, but just know that you'll be missing out on a, like, very honest and intimate relationship with many of those who occupy space here, who are looking for that connection and closeness and perhaps validation. Unfortunately, due to the fact that majority of society just wants to keep gender non-conforming individuals and ideology under wraps for curiouser and curiouser motivations. But for me personally, I know I'm talking a lot about myself. Sorry, Moon's in Libra. It's about me, everyone. No, it's about you too. That's what this reading is about too. If anything, I am a living example of what this reading is talking about. But yeah, with my gender, my existence of my gender, my gendered experience, I personally don't experience dysphoria. That's not for anyone else. The way I exist in this world is not for anyone else. I just spent a lot of time hating who I was and how I looked growing up, even when I was, like, quote unquote pretty. You know, there was always a reason for me to hate how I looked. Oh, you're a pretty kid. You know who likes pretty kids? PDF files. Literally type of shit I would hear as a child. And then, you know, puberty comes and I'm not looking so great. And family members are like, why do you look like that? You should do something about that. Why are you so depressed? God, you're making us look bad. Woo! So, yeah. I couldn't even look at myself in the shower, y'all. I was so disgusted with myself. So, when I found out that I was, like, gender non-conforming, I made a decision. I was like, I'm gonna ride this out. I'm gonna see if I love this body as it exists. And I also feel like hating one's menstrual is, like, you know, a tool of the patriarchy, but everyone has their own experiences. I know some people with some very painful menstrual experiences, and I used to, but, you know, thankfully for me, I have found a way of mitigating that, like, significantly in ways that I didn't even think were possible. So I don't really experience any pain at all, except for maybe on the first day or the second day, maybe the first 2 days. My second day is always the heaviest. Right. Yeah, gender experiences. So my personal experience with my menstrual cycle is very sacred and very, like, spiritual. I always have very vivid dreams, very vivid experience, because you're kind of, like, forced to, like, really, really retreat into oneself. And I get very selfish on my menstrual cycle, and, like, rightfully so. I'm sure a lot of us who menstruate, who are coming to this reading, like, do, you know, a lot of us talk about how, like, oh, I get extra hungry and I get hangry and I'm more demanding and I deserve it. And, like, yeah, you do. Yeah, fuck you do. Yeah, you do. It's literally your hormones saying, like, up until this point, I've had to put up with not being treated tenderly. So now that it's coming out, like, in an abrasiveness, you know, in a form of release, so to speak. So, yeah, I don't know. I always experience such deep forms of clarity on my cycle, and I feel especially magical and connected to nature in like a really like intricate ancestral way. Thankfully I do not experience a lot of like physical pain often. I do not get to see myself bleed often, and I don't know, like blood is vitality. Like how I don't know how often most human beings are looking or seeing like real blood in their day-to-day, but I feel like that's one way for us to be reminded of our humanity in a sense. I really like love that. Yeah, and I can go on about how like I've always felt a way about not being able to see my internal organs in general. I'm like, why can't I see them? I should be able to see them. I have a Virgo Venus, y'all. So I'm like, I should be able to see everything that is going on inside of me. Why can I not see it? I need to see it. Seeing is believing. No, but you know, it's just yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna sip my tea a little bit. I know we're kind of going all over the place. We're not going all over the place. It's a journey, right? Could you imagine if I was like your actual guide on like your journey right now? Like we're walking down a stretch of road, and I'm just like, yeah, so you know, the menstrual cycle, blah blah blah, and you know, believe in yourself. You're supposed to have confidence. You know, the skies say, that we need to be aware of this, that, and the other. And here, let's go on and talk about this eagle that I saw in the park 3 days ago. This eagle told me. You're like, oh my god, I just want to get to the end. Like, when does it end? And I'm like, I don't know. You really want to skip to the end? You want to miss out on all this lore? Because it's about the journey. Anyone here watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer? It's my favorite show ever. ever. I never thought I would say that about anything post my childhood. I've you know, I'm 28. I'm kind of like I'm like, I don't know, for so long I was just, you know, my Saturn return is here. I just so much. I've spent a lot of my 20s just like really lamenting my childhood. I don't want to say that I didn't have one. I did, but like there was a looming overhead like sense of responsibility that took a greater precedence over having a childhood. But there was a childhood. Props to my siblings, my babies, Naja, Nadia, Seth, Nehemiah, and my big sister Kiki, who didn't live with us, but you know, when she did, it was she was my bestie. She really went out of her way to be a bestie to me. My interesting ass. Anyway. Without my siblings, I don't think I would have had much of a childhood. I mean, honestly, God, okay. Look, I'm supposed to be putting a lid on my talking, but I don't want to. Maybe in post edit you will hear less of this, but this is also kind of why I wish I were on live with y'all, so that I could actually get feedback and, you know, not potentially put all this personal information out there, only for people to be like, Yan Nair is talking about their life. We want to hear about ours. I'm like, but I am your life. Your life is speaking through me as I speak through mine. We all share life endlessly, over and over and over, replicated through each other constantly, so many times, between milliseconds apart of one another being born. Like, we still share a life. Like, it's so crazy. I hate that my tea is going cold. What the fuck? And hell yeah, I'm about to stop this shit so I can go warm it up. Bye. Hi, waffles. You're just screaming at me for no reason. I'm about to play with her. Don't worry, y'all. She's eaten. She's drank. She pestered me for nearly an hour to feed her. It wasn't 10 minutes. What? Oh, she probably wants me to feed her again because she doesn't even care about the toy. No, Waffles, you've had enough. No. 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 Stop arguing with me. I spoil her when I'm on my cycle, so she's like, more treats, more food. And I'm like, nope, we gotta get back on schedule. Back on schedule, back to our 8 to 8. None of that 7:45, 5:30 in the morning because I'm awake for some godforsaken reason. Because I decided to not fall asleep until 9 a.m. and then slept until 12 midnight. Meow. Meow. Smoker's alarm. Speaking of smoker, I gotta clean my pipe. No fun. Me no like non-instant gratification. Wee. Oh right, I love my caramel drink, that's the color of my skin. I just had a really funny memory of me calling my nephew caramel macchiato, my caramel macchiato. I got that from Corey X Kenshin. He loves Corey X Kenshin. My siblings put me on. My little brother apparently had been like a fan of Corey X Kenshin ever since he was like 10. He was 10 and Corey was like in high school, about to go to college by that time. God, I don't even know what year that was when my brother was 10 years old. It had to have been while I was still living in the house with them though. I feel like I remember hanging out with my bro up until he was about 8 years old. Maybe that was when I left the house. That might have been. I think I'm 8 years older than my brother. No, that would make me 16. So, okay, by 10, 4 years after, that would make me 20. Okay, so I was gone. Oh, so maybe he hadn't watched it by that point. Dang, bro. Really? I'm 8 years older than you? Is that all? Is that really all? Yeah. Because my baby sister, I'm 5 years older than her. Good job, Waffles. Hope you all are enjoying this, you know. What are the odds that I will hang out with any of y'all and you will hear the organic, natural sounds of my day-to-day life, which will be that drastically different between now and probably next month, because I don't even know if I'm going to still be in the house that I live in next month. Whee! Okay, my tea is probably done. Little caramel macchiato. Yeah, anyway, I started that whole tangent because Corey called himself a caramel macchiato. He said that's a skin tone. He said I'm more of a caramel macchiato. I love that. It was so funny. I called my nephew, aka my son. No, he's my nephew. I called him that. I said he's my caramel macchiato. But this... my chai is also anyway. Logic, making everything logical. Sorry. What was I gonna say? Love my siblings. Love. Shout out to my sister Nija, who will be moving very soon to another state with her babies, my nephews, and her husband Brandon, of course. Shout out to him too. Big W for the bro-in-law. So proud of you. So proud of you. Love you dearly. I'm sorry I don't talk to you. I'm sorry I don't talk to you. I do think of you. You are so valuable. You're a valuable member of society. I'm sorry. You're a valuable member of our family. Of our family. Of at least my relationship to you. Like, I mean, you probably know how worthy. I mean, how worthy? How what's another word for worthy, y'all? Like, when you think of a diamond, I mean, priceless. Yeah, sure. How priceless you are to, you know, all the other members of our family, because, like, you are, you know, living with them. Living with them. But as far as I'm concerned, you know, me who does never speak of their personal life, I'm working on it. Yeah, in my eyes, you're priceless. You're a dime a dozen. Thank you so much. Love my siblings so much. I haven't really talked about them really here in the space. See why I feel like these things are better in a live stream? Oh my god, yeah, risky. Risky business. Y'all just listen to me like talk away. It's okay though, because I assure you, you're gonna be hearing my words. It could be droned in the background, and like somehow it's just gonna like, just nuggets, pockets of things that I've said will like mirror in your like actual life. So have fun with that. Have fun with that. You know, maybe you need to think about your siblings right now. Maybe you need to think about your extended family right now. Maybe there's someone who you need to show appreciation to at this time, you know. Because that's literally what I'm doing. Like, I mean, I'm just being public and honest about my siblings right now, because like, if they were to hear this, I want their names to be heard. I want people to know. But I mean, it's not like, I'm just using my platform, you know, and like, my siblings mean the world to me. They were my first children, so, and could potentially be my woo, my track record. I don't know if I will ever be having any of my own. I don't even know. We're not gonna talk about that, okay? We're not gonna talk about it though. We're not gonna talk about that. But we will talk about how much I love my siblings so much, and I want the best for them, and there are ways in which I wish I could have shown up in their lives, you know, more grandeur, you know, more impressive. More impressive, more, you know, a savior type role, but it's cool. We are all responsible for our own lives, and we just gotta do what we can to help each and every one of us keep going. It's not that big of a deal, you know. When we work on, you know, self-worth isn't indicative of grand feats necessarily, or grand feats to us. I guess I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm laughing at comments on Facebook. I'm sorry. I guess I'm like, you know, like we know probably that you don't have to carry the world on your shoulders just to be considered a great person, or just to be considered, a great, like, a person of many fantastical feats, right? Like, you could share your coffee with somebody, and you know, that means the world to somebody because they just really needed a friend in that moment, and you don't know what they're going through. So, you know, I know we don't need those things, but like, also, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if I were Hercules and like my name were cemented all across history? Now, looking back on it, I don't think Hercules has the best track record either. Like, he was definitely a murderer, and he worked for Zeus, and most of his feats were like in effect to get Zeus's attention or to do Zeus's bidding, and he's like, I'm not gonna acknowledge you as my son even though I love you or appreciate you or whatever. Oh wait, or was it like Hera that was like, fuck this man? No, because that was her kid. That's why he was called Heracles, right? Oh my god, yeah. It's been a minute since me and my road of Greek mythology. I love having a background that is like similar, adjacent to like many of the people that I like cohabitate with, but like really not to an exact, like to a T. Like I really like, my favorite piece of lore about myself is that like I have so many friends or so many like within my community that are like diehard like Kingdom Hearts fans, and that's where they know my songstress, my idol, my life and blood, the J-pop pop star Uttara Hikaru, as you may know them as them, because they're not letting me do the fucking cards. She is everything to me. They are everything to me. And that's how she has a lot of American fans. I missed out on Kingdom Hearts as a kid. I was interested. I like saw the books at the book fair and like saw some of the commercials for the video game, but like my brain kind of like repressed that, because growing up, video games were expensive and books were expensive too. But books were more readily accessible due to libraries. Why didn't they? Hey, has anyone here gone to a library where they actually like let you rent video games? I mean, like looking back on it now, that would have definitely been a horrible idea, because the amount of games that would have been stolen and lost, like that was so expensive. But yeah, I'm just wondering, anybody here had a local library or went to a library where they actually lent out video games? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, video games were expensive, and I had a very similar to me now spiritual relationship when it came to video games. I was very particular about the games that I knew I wanted to play. Like I knew in my heart and soul that like I needed this game, and there was something that I needed to learn and explore through this game. And like I would pester my parents for months. Like I would give them breaks. Like don't get me wrong, because like first of all, my parents were quite volatile individuals, and I mean, I guess who isn't? You're young parents, how can you not be? But yeah, I would come back. I don't think my parents like anticipated that. Like I'm pretty sure like months would go by, wouldn't hear anything about the game, then I'd come back waving in their face, hey, you remember I asked for this? Oh my god, look at the art, look at the promo they released for it. You gotta get it. I would literally have to come up with sales pitches to like get my parents to like buy me things. It's okay. I'm proud at how like I really needed it. And I have airside placements, like I don't like asking for things. So for to think back on like what I did as a kid, I'm like, wow man, I really fucking needed that shit. I was not taking no for an answer. I was like, yo, This is non-negotiable. This is a non-negotiable for me. I make good grades. On top of that, if I need to remind you, I take care of your children when you're at work. Come on now. I get them ready for school. Come on. I walk them to the bus stop. Come on, you know. So yeah, like games were really spiritual for me. But Kingdom Hearts, I was never. It was flashy, it looked cool, it looked clean, I thought it was so great, but like I was legitimately more interested in like the manga. I think it was like Tokyo Pop was releasing them then. I think that was the manufacturer. Was not Shonen Jump. I mean, it could have been in partner with them, but I think it was Tokyo Pop. And yeah, they had made manga, and I remember reading one. I don't know if it was a library book at the time, or if there had been a recent like Scholastic book fair and someone had bought the book and I was reading it or something. It might have been something like that. But yeah, personally, I distinctly, for me, the games seemed, I guess, cool adjacent to me, but like not enough to really like grab my attention and like get me to be interested. And like, I guess I just figured it was like, it couldn't be any different from playing like a normal computer game with like Disney. I could go to Disney.com right now and like play the same thing. I know the graphics are just different, but it's like, it might as well be the same thing to me. I got that it was different because like Anime Boy or whatever, but it was still not enough to appeal to me. I like the manga. I cannot stress that enough. So Utada, when Utada comes around, Kingdom Hearts had already been out. I think by the time that I did get into her, it was like the second one had been released. But I didn't find out about her through Kingdom Hearts at all. Not to say that I hadn't heard the songs from the game before. I'm pretty sure I had. I just like repressed it or like didn't know. But I got into her through her like American studio albums. It was the first one I was really able to listen to because at that time here in the US, like it was a lot harder to kind of like get music overseas. Like YouTube had just dropped like maybe like 3 years before when I started like getting onto Utada, maybe 5 years before, and yeah, so it had just been harder up to that point. That was something else I also begged my parents for, my Nana in particular, because I had not an iPad. We couldn't afford that. I had an MP3 player. It was a Philips MP3 player, and I wanted that to be my first album. And my auntie Mimi got me a gift card on her baby shower out of all times. She got me a gift card, and I used that gift card to buy Utada's second American studio album. Her second one. And like the rest was history. And then I started listening to all her Japanese stuff because I don't know how I got a hold of it. I must have bootlegged it. I had that bootlegged because I ended up with all of those albums. Did I bootleg or did I pay for all of those? Bro, I had everything on that itty bitty little MP3 player. I just can't sit here with y'all and convince myself that I paid for all of those Japanese studio albums. Like, how did I do that? Where did the money come from? I'm like, I had to have bootleg. I legitimately don't know what I did, but I can't think of anything else other than paying for it. Girl, I don't know what I was doing to make that money, but it was serious because I had all her major ones. I had Ultra Blue, I had a Hard Station, and then I had a compilation album from her earlier work. But yeah, those albums included the Japanese versions of the Kingdom Hearts songs that are popularized here in the US, and that's all I would listen to. I did not give a fuck about the American ones. I was like, fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. I don't need to be a part of this fandom to enjoy her music, and like that's where I stayed, and that's kind of like what rings true today. So yeah, those are just among the one of the major, like one of my favorite lore things about myself is like, oh yeah, I have a very similar adjacent experience to everyone else, but it's like not the same. It's not the same. And like, yeah, I brag about that all the time. I was like, oh, I didn't need to listen. I didn't need to play the games to like get into her. Ugh, I didn't know anything about that. Like, I'm such a snob. I'm such a snob. I'm like, ugh, okay, yeah, you got put on by a game, whatever, that was popularized and everyone in America Disney spent millions of dollars on the promo on the game and all that. Like, I mean, obviously, like, oh yeah. Okay. I went digging. I randomly searched Japanese artists while I was on iTunes and it was like, or like some iTunes adjacent site trying to get into like J-pop artists, and like she just stood out to me among all the other ones. Other Japanese J-pop artists I liked were Namiya Imuro and what is her name? Oh, Boa is like, don't get me started on Boa because she's like number 2 She's number 2 for me. It's Utada. I've never ranked. I've never like actually sat and ranked. But it's definitely Utada and then Boa. Because first of all, Boa speaks Japanese, Korean, and English. Multilingual queen! And she does songs in all of those languages. And she dances too. She does choreography. Like she's that girl. Like she's really edgy. She's edgy. Utada is groundbreaking and emotive. Boa is just like, she's innovative and edgy for sure, but she's still like a pop girly, you know. She's grown as hell now, and she was like, oh my god, she was like in a K-drama recently. She was a villainess. Like, I was like so gagged, and she was like so cutthroat, and I hated her so much. And then I learned it was her, and I was like, oh my god, she's so bad. Like good bad, you know. Like it's like, oh god, she's perfect. I think it's so bad. I didn't know she could do this. Oh my god. Anyway, la Nair lore. Nair lore. We've ordered. Y'all probably like, where the fuck are these cards? Don't worry about the cards. You see these cards? You will see them on the screen. You'll see them on the screen. And interpret them yourself. Do that shit. I told y'all, we making our own stories, we're making our own destinies, and I'm speaking mine. OMG, I can't wait to see the very limited amount of views on this one. Just because I'm talking about me. Oh my god. The tea is still hot, interestingly enough. Probably because it's like deeper inside of the cup now. What do you want, kitty? I want affection and attention. We already had cuddle time. I'm not a big physical touch person at this time of my life. So it's a little hard sometimes, because she really will like pester you over and over and over and over and over and over and over for physical touch, and I'm just like, please get away from me. I'm overstimulated. Really does cause me to empathize with my mom growing up. All those kids just shouting and high energy all the time, and like wanting to jump on you or like wanting to rub on you, and like you're just trying to like survive and also like ensure your children's survival at the same time, and like also make sure that they're happy too. Like that's a lot. You're like, bro, I'm trying to feel happy about life. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm damn near a child. So yeah. Do y'all want me to name these cards? Okay. Queen of Wands is the theme, the heart of the matter. But I also feel like this is like an ending of some sorts. This 8 of Swords in the reverse. It's just seeing past your limitations. Our past, Ace of Wands, not feeling confident, maybe internalizing our power. You know, maybe we're not showcasing our power, maybe not communicating that power, maybe feeling like we're limited in some aspects, in some areas, feeling like we can't go the distance. I know, like with the Saturn and Aries, a lot of us are just feeling like our identities are being restricted for one reason or another. Or the ways we used to go about doing things, there's a lessening of it, there's less of an expansive quality about it. You know, we have to grind a little bit harder. We have to like keep our cards closer to our chests, so to speak. And I'm just here to tell y'all, like, yes, do that, but like also still you need to be encouraging yourself every day to be authentic and connect with other human beings. Do not crawl into this space of isolation to the point that you are unable to connect with humanity just because you're like trying to make ends meet, or just because you're trying to like be more responsible or something. Like, the problem is not other people, the problem is you. It is you. It is a you thing. And I don't mean that to like, it's not a blame game. It's just about taking responsibility, and that's okay. Taking responsibility does not have to be a scary thing. When we are born, we're kind of automatically tasked with responsibility. Life is responsibility. So it's what we have. It's what we've always had. The resulting energy of this reading, the resulting energy of the full moon is, I could relay this quite literally, but I'm not. I say fuck it. Fuck it. That's the resulting energy of this reading. Okay, fuck it. Whatever it is, fuck it. Shruggy emoji. Fuck it, man. Fuck it. Stop holding yourself back. Stop overthinking. Stop thinking. Fuck it. Do it, man. Stop holding back. Stop limiting yourself. Stop giving yourself this mild list of excuses. Excuses are different from legitimate limitations. Okay? But I know that many of us here do not want to be limited, and that our goals are to surpass our limitations. And what's the best way of doing that is integrating small moments of like expansion in the midst of that. But like I said, we're going to have Mercury in Cancer, Jupiter in Cancer, Mars enters Cancer by the end of Gemini season. There's a lot of like heart chakra and throat chakra situations that are being like amplified right now, on top of like the sacral chakra energy of like our personal like flow and, you know, our state of flow, our literal essence of life, you know, the essence of life. When you strip us down to like our bare resources, beyond the physical, you know, what is the energy that you are emitting? Like, what is that experience like day to day? Or, I mean, shit, eons, you know, how are you experiencing that flow? Because again, like, as I've stated in this reading, all of us are milliseconds apart from being the same person, bro. We are all sharing one life. We are all sharing this experience. Like, does it not astound you that all the people that you've ever known and ever heard of that are alive right now, like, these are our people who we are alive with? Like, I don't know, half a century ago, there were, like people have died within the last 50 years that, you know, that were alive during, like, the early 1900s and, like, the 1800s. We don't see none of them niggas no more. We don't know a damn soul from 1880. They're done. It's over. But there were people that were born 50 years ago who knew folks from that time. You see what I'm saying? The people who we are coexisting with right now, like 50 years from now, like that, those generations of people won't have, they'll only have us. So don't take your communities for granted. Ooh, yeah, that's a Cancer message if I ain't ever heard one. The home thing, like, yeah, I love Cancers for that. They're really good at bringing the community into the home, right? Whereas Capricorn, like on the flip side, is more about like creating the structures for the home to like thrive and survive and have like, you know, a mode of like contingency and like cognizance. This is how we survive day to day. This is how we survive lifetimes from now, like physically. This is what you can count on. But Cancer keeps the spirit of the home alive. Cancer keeps, you know, it's where our emotional wounds can lie. You know, how we pass on emotional wounds as well. You know, maternal, yeah, we can speak of those terms. We can speak of femininity and things like that. Yada yada yada. Yeah, I'm currently in a process of reforming how my relationship to feminine and masculine energies, because like, when do we ever talk about neutral energies, or when do we talk about androgynous energies? When does that come into the spiritual play? I've yet to really hear that. You know, I'm cool with dichotomies. I'm cool with, you know, dynamicism. You know, we have yin and yang, things like that. But I think those are also reflections of us relying solely on dual energy all the time. And, you know, if I need to reiterate this, we are in the season of the tribe. Gemini represents twins, yes, but does not represent duality. Never. It always represents, and I find this to be true with both Libra and Gemini, actually. What? They're tri. Like, I know Libra is like opposites, but like always with Libra, they're like, they're either going to do yes, that thing, and they're going to do the other thing. And when you do the other thing and the other thing, like, you end up with like, the results are different, you know? Like, there's no streamlined, guaranteed, absolute answer that will get you this absolute, like, I don't think humans are fully capable of making decisions that are 1 + 1 = 2. I mean, unless they just literally are like math based. I'm about to get up and warm up to see again. But like, there's a try. Like, I feel like Libra is often like this and this, which is going to ultimately result in something else, or not that or that, not the left or the right, but in between. That's a whole different experience. That's a whole different decision. And then Gemini is like literally all of those things and none of them at the same time. No commitment to any. Like, something completely, totally out of the ordinary. So, like, I challenge everyone here to kind of envision a world and envision an experience that does not exist solely within duality, because like I want people to experiment with the ideas that, you know, when it comes to binaries, when it comes to duality, like, I think we're past the point of only believing in heaven or hell, right? We believe in multiverses now. Come on now. There's no excuse for us to like only believe in black and white when there's literally a spectrum of color. Wow, how did pride weave itself into this reading? But it did. I am your vessel. I am your messenger. So this is what you get. Is this reading over? It could be. It could be. Y'all should really reach out to me if you want a one-on-one reading, personal. I love getting to know you all. I love you all getting to know me, and believe it or not, I'm very insecure. So putting my whole life and body and emotions on display, I noticed that my Super Libra Power lunar eclipse in Libra reading did not get many hits, and that, you know, has resulted in me feeling subconscious about even putting my face on the fucking screen. I'm like, dang, is that like not the vibe right now? Like, my voice is the only thing that's like appreciated or notable. Is my, like, the sight of me like overwhelming? Is that like too much for people right now? So shrug emoji. But thank y'all for being present with me today. Come back again soon. Maybe that would be my little outro now. I hope you enjoyed this song. I'll leave a link in the description, and yeah, bye.